Thank you very much. I would first of all like to congratulate the organizers of this event, Ijaz Saab, Zahid Saab, everyone who's been a part of this, for conducting this event, for getting all of us together. It gives me an honor to stand before the assets that Pakistan has, which is the brilliant minds like yourselves who are genuinely contributing to the economy of Pakistan. And today, as I stand representing the government, one thing that I can proudly say is that the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister, Shehbaz Sharif Sahab, and one thing that he reiterates in almost every meeting that we hold, whether it's in my sector, which is IT, or any other sector related to economy. And I quote that he says that government has no business doing business, and government is there to facilitate businesses, and government is there to pave way and make policies that ensure an enabling and conducive environment for businesses to grow. And I think that over the past many years, Pakistan, no denying, has gone through challenging times, has gone through difficult times, but we've risen every time. And I always quote the example of when I joined the parliament for the first time. This was back in 2013, and what I remember from that time is 18 to 20 hours of load shedding. What I remember from that time is a national gas crisis. What I remember is more than 1,000 terrorist attacks per year, one right outside our house in Lahore. So there are things that we grew up with, and as a result, a complete infrastructural breakdown in the country. But 4 years down, 5 years down, we pulled out of it. We pulled out of the energy crisis. There was zero load shedding, 2017. We pulled out of the security crisis, 98% clearance of terrorism. We pulled out of the infrastructural breakdown crisis with building of roads, highways, motorways, and these are not brick and mortar projects, but actual connectivity projects that we're talking about. We came into the digital scenario with the licensing of 3G and 4G in 2016-17. So these are the kind of things that we were able to do within 4 and 5 years and pull Pakistan out of the crisis that it was unfortunately in when we joined in 2013. And that is what gives me hope. I still remember that we joined the government, and 4 years later we were with the IMF. Four days later we were with the IMF. And I think 4th or 5th July we had the IMF agreement signed. And then December 2016 we managed to complete the IMF program, having the head of IMF come to Pakistan to congratulate the Prime Minister on the first and till now the only successfully completed IMF program. So we genuinely believe that political will, strong foreign relations and foreign policy, coupled with the resilient people that we have, and people like yourselves who drive the private sector, who drive the economy, there is nothing that can hold us back from developing. And this is not just a statement, but a firm conviction and a belief that we work with. And we understand that things don't happen overnight, and we certainly are trying. I mean, I've just walked out of a meeting and I'm just going to go into another meeting right after this, right? So at least on our end, I can assure you that we're working as many hours possible in a day to ensure that the needle moves. And One learning that I have from all these 11 years of being a member of the parliament is that nothing can work without collaborations. The government alone cannot work, the private sector alone cannot work. You will have to collaborate to move forward. What we can assure is a conducive environment for you to operate, and I'm cognizant of the fact that Pakistan faces a lot of problems when it comes to businesses. I'm cognizant of the fact that we're not the best when it comes to ease of doing business. But this is the acceptance that the government has, and this is the challenge that the Prime Minister has taken to solve these problems. And sitting with all of you and being in these, the point of being in these gatherings and sitting with all of you is to understand your side of the story so that we can solve those problems. And we know what problems are we solving for. So as far as my ministry goes and directions to the Prime Minister's direction to Ministry of IT go, we have a two-pronged vision and goal. And one is the national digitization program that we're about to carry out. It's a complicated thing. It's not an easy thing to do, but we are starting that journey. We're embarking on that journey, and the idea is, and we will try our best, that this initiative is also led by the private sector within our industry. Very briefly speaking, it is essentially digitization of three verticals: economy, governance, and society, and creating a digital identity for each individual in order for there to be transparency, ease of doing business, ease of living overall, to provide for a society where our individual citizens don't have to queue up, don't have to wait for very little basic things that they have to wait for. My brother is a private sector business person. My husband is a private sector business person. So my brother is in the food industry. He has about 11 people and 11 departments who come individually to check for different services, which is not always a most transparent and smooth interaction. So solving for these problems for businesses, business registration problems, bank account opening issues, these are some of the problems that we understand are there for any average citizen of this country. So the whole digitization process aims at financial inclusion, it aims at formalizing the economy, it aims at digitizing governance to create transparency, to streamline processes, to digitize society, to ensure that your health records are digitized, your education records are digitized, your financial records are digitized. So creating a digital identity around a person for their, from cradle to grave, ease of living within a society is the final destination that we aim to reach. The second is very directly related to you, to your business community, and that is, how can we facilitate the private sector to ensure the export numbers that the Prime Minister has given us? He also understands it's a little stretch target, but for our sector, it's around $25 billion is the target that we've received. And we completely understand that this is not going to be possible without the help of the private sector. If there is any iota of chance of getting close to this target, it can only be done through the support of the private sector companies that are operating in this domain. They can be in any vertical. I always say that IT is no longer limited to technology or computers, but you talk about any business, any industry, whether it's healthcare, whether it's education, whether it's government itself, whether it's media, whether it's traditional manufacturing, there is automation, there is IT, there is technology that we can't escape. So then the challenge also becomes bigger, the responsibility also becomes bigger, but these are the challenges, and out of every challenge we're trying to create opportunity for you and for the country at large, so that we're able to meet our targets that we've been given, and the larger target of bringing Pakistan back on the track of economic revival, and eventually, hopefully, the long-term goal that has been ascertained by all the leadership together is to be a part of G20 as soon as possible. So $1 trillion economy is where you reach G20. We're at 350 billion. We're just a 25% formal economy. 75% is undocumented. 25% of adults have any relation with the banks. 75% have no relationship with the banks. So only digitizing the whole process, if we are able to, formalize even 50% of the undocumented economy, we reach the 700 million mark. Not 50% actually, 30%. We reach the 700 million mark, right? So without any investment, without growing any businesses, just digitizing the economy, making digital payments easy, making business registrations easy, only this process will take us from a 350 billion to a 700 billion economy. Then we're left with 300 billion more, and we're there. So these targets are not very stretched. Going in G20 was what international organizations were predicting for Pakistan back in 2017, that by 2025, between 2025 and 2030, we would be a G20 member. Where we went from there is a story for another day, but every day is a new beginning, and we hope and we wish that in the coming few years, we will be able to achieve this target, and we will be able to get into the G20. And getting into the G20 is not just a title, but what follows is better living standards, overall wealth creation, uplifting of the whole economy at large. It translates into job creation, it translates into better education, better healthcare, better social services. So this is what the government has in plan, and we really hope that we can collaborate with you wherever possible. All of your feedback is always welcome. We will be also digitizing our public-private dialogue mechanism. It will be made public. You will always be able to give us feedback very effectively. It will be AI-powered. These are the kind of things that we're looking forward for, more effective, more efficient interactions. And once again, I would like to thank everyone who's present here for being a part of this, for now, a unilateral conversation. And I would like to hear more from your side. How is it that the government can help all of you to grow? Because eventually that is where all of us win. So thank you very much for being here. Thank you for hearing me, and thank you for having me.
Thank you.